Hello there folks, I'm Dan Brown from a sort of interestinglife.com, and as I step up off the towpath onto the back of my humble narrowboat home, get the keys out and unlock the door, you can see that we are opening up late at night. You could even see my breath there, just to prove how chilly a cold winter's night this was. I've got my little switches for my various fairy lights, which I like to have as a nice relaxing general way to set the calm mood for an evening on board. I've got some blue ones as well for super relaxation, and really in this video I just wanted to share a few random clips of some of the colder months and colder moments on board. You can see I've got a very poor fire there, but as you see, we've also got the bucket of coal at the front of the boat, so we've got plenty of fuel to keep us going, hopefully all the way through the night, and that's far more what you want the fire to look like when you go to bed. Speaking of bed, as we wake up in the morning, I thought I would do just a little random bit of a POV clip here. This is the theoretical waking up in the morning. You can see like cushions down on the desk and stuff. And as I really do love to just have the sofa bed left up how it is these days. Originally I used to have it all properly set out and spread out, but I just found having a nice corner where you were not only on top of a nice sofa bed but also had the back to sort of nestle into a cushioned corner part was fantastic. And getting up, you can see, looking through the windows, we've got no condensation as the boat was still pretty warm from the fire still burning, and what a great view. Speaking of great views, one of the best things about having the crisp cold winter mornings is things like this on your commutes in and out of town for work or for supplies. This was on a work day and a slightly different route to my standard route in and out of town, but having that proper crisp chilly air is perfect for giving you these blue skies and great sunny countryside scenes. Lucky as I am to live out in such rural places, equally waking up on another one of these wonderful little mornings of nice no rain, which is very important. We're very lucky to get those at the moment, but you can see waking up and having this as your general surroundings is absolutely perfect, especially when you start standing on the roof to get a little bit more of it in shot. And these are really the things that I just think are absolutely fantastic, and just a few moments to get us started in this video. Well, it's something past 8 and I'm quite late as I head back in for work, but luckily I'm not so late that I need to rush. You can see you're on the bike as usual. It's at one of these many places along here where you've got a little stream heading underneath the road and off down the fields. If we back up slightly, you can see just in the usual way, got a bit of an old train carriage there used for storage, and just this classic farmland everywhere you look. Absolutely beautiful on a nice crisp winter morning like this. It is pretty chilly as you're biking along though. You can see on the road just how wet it's been, and basically all this mud here is from where, well, we've had really terrible rain. All the water has spilled down out of these fields and overflowed and dragged a huge amount of all the leaves, and just as it's flooded, fetched all of this rubbish along with it. Anyway, it's time to get to work, I think. During the winter months, you of course first of all have the dark night setting in, but also the bad weather, whether that's rain, snow, ice, or just very cold weather in general. If we just open the curtains there, you can see it is extremely dark out there. It's not particularly late at the moment. I think it's about maybe something to 8, but you get the general gist. It's very dark and very early on. I mean, soon it'll be getting dark at 5 PM, so then you really do know that it's winter. But of course, having those dark nights and the poor weather means that you can't get out there biking or kayaking or just even walking sometimes. So that means you spend a lot more time on the boat and just generally pottering about. And of course you've got the various rituals that you go through, such as things associated with the fire. If we just lift up the top here, you can see we've got an absolutely beautiful, extremely warm bed of coal there, just smouldering away. That's throwing out an awful lot of heat. And that's normally really what the fire looks like just before I go to bed, where I've piled up a bit of coal in there which will hopefully last through until the morning. Of course, with all of this extra time on me hands over these months, it's the perfect time to do an awful lot of writing. If we come up to the front here, this is the desk that I've written the last 2 narrowboat books I've published at, and also where I finally edited and came up with the final version of my little poetry collection. And if we actually sit down in the chair and look, this is the actual eye view that I have. Obviously iPad there, and then looking up, that's back down the boat. I quite like having these new lights as well, the white lights. I've looked for a long time for some warm LED white lights and finally found some. And, well, they do add like a nice little extra bit of light, but also what the camera doesn't pick up is really how yellow they are, which does make it look a lot nicer than just the proper brilliant white, pure white normal LEDs. I wanted to end this video with a lovely bit of slow motion footage, and as you can see, and you might be able to tell from some of the videos I've been posting recently, I am absolutely loving being able to film the fire in slow motion. And what you're seeing burning here is one of those heat logs that's made out of compacted sawdust and other very combustible materials. And basically, as it burns, you can imagine that it starts to loosen up and all of the individual pieces start to come away. So you can see, just giving it a little prod with the fire tongs here, how many of these little burning embers start to rise up. And I think that all of those floating through the fire in the air make it look very sort of galactic and very much like something from space. And the general slow motion way that the flames glide and lick around the actual burning object, I think it's just fantastic. So you can tell what I've been spending a lot of my evenings doing, filming the fire. So I'll say on that note, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to check out my other videos for goodness knows how many narrowboat videos and all sorts of things from boat life. Feel free as well to like the Facebook page and even add me personally on Facebook and Twitter for lots of photos and general canal life updates. And of course, check out my books for the Kindle. Just search Amazon for The Narrowboat Lad, or find all the links in the description if you want to help me out and give me a bit of support. And until the next time, have a fantastic day, keep it boat worthy, and farewell.